Adasunba destroyed his wife in front of the whole marketplace. 30 days later, she destroyed his entire world. The calabash exploded. Palm oil spread like blood across the marketplace dust. Adasunba circled his wife, laughing. "Look at this elephant." The crowd froze. Nobody dishonored a wife publicly in Ibadan. Fulak stood slowly, looks him dead in the eye, and whispered something only he hears. His smile faltered. She walked away. Old Baba Afalela held up 30 fingers and started folding them down, one by one. Subscribe right now, because what she whispered will make you fear karma for the rest of your life. Evening shadows stretched across Uba marketplace. Adasunba counted coins at his empty stall, 17 cowries. Not enough. Tomorrow creditors would come. Tomorrow they'd take everything. Adasunba, son of a Jedi. He looked up. A woman stood before him, full-figured in a simple wrapper, but her eyes held something that made him straighten. "You owe 47 cowries to Baba Sunga, 83 to the cloth merchant, and your mother needs Ugba root for her cough." She tilted her head. "I can solve all of this tonight." His mouth went dry. "Who are you? How do you know?" "My name is Fulak. My father was Bulla Ullapada." The name hit him like a physical blow. Everyone knew Ullapada, the trade master who'd controlled routes from Lagos to Kano. "He's been dead 2 years, Adasunba managed." "Yes." She placed a leather pouch on his table. Gold coins gleamed inside. "And I inherited everything he knew, every route, every contact, every secret." He stared at the gold, then at her. "What do you want?" "Marriage. You need survival. I need a public face for my father's business." Her voice was steady, businesslike. "People don't trust a woman trader. They need to see a man." "Why me?" "Because you're desperate enough to agree. And because you're nobody, which means you won't question me." She leaned forward, and for a moment he saw something else in her eyes. Not just strategy, something that might have been hope. "2 rules, Adasunba. Never ask how I know what I know, and never disrespect me in public." He looked at the gold, thought of his dying mother, his debts, his shame. "When?" 3 days, my family compound, dawn." 3 days later they stood before her family shrine. The compound impressed him, carved ancestral posts, multiple buildings, an air of old power. During the simple ceremony she looked at him with something that might have been affection, or perhaps just assessment. That night she gave him a wooden box filled with leather scrolls. "Tomorrow buy all the palm oil from Ugba traders. Spend everything." "That's insane, the price is." Her eyes cut through his protest. "Do it." He did. 3 days later drought struck Ujba. Palm oil prices tripled. Adasunba stared at his overflowing warehouse, stunned. Fulak simply nodded, unsurprised. "How did you?" She looked at him. "Rule 1. He thought he was agreeing to a business arrangement. He had no idea he was signing his own fate. Week 3. Adasunba's warehouse overflowed with goods. Other traders whispered as he passed. "How does he know these things?" He started answering. Experience, instinct, strategic thinking. Behind him, Fulak placed another note on his table. He glanced at it, barely reading. She said nothing. Month 2. Gold chains hung from his neck now. He'd taken a chieftaincy title, Aloha Uttan of Uba. Praise singers followed him through the market, chanting his success. He came home late, smelling of palm wine. Fulak still woke before cockcrow, still left trade notes by his sleeping mat. He'd stopped reading them entirely. "I know what I'm doing," he told her one morning. She held his gaze for a long moment, then returned to the kitchen. He didn't see her hands tremble as she ground the pepper. Month 3. At the Lekwanabanan Jaba Lekwanabanan Ukyat meeting, he sat with the elders, contributed ostentatiously, made a show of his wealth. That night he brought friends home. Loud, drunk traders who sprawled across his compound like they owned it. Aka Lekwanabanan Ukyat served kulla nuts and bitter kulla, moving between them with quiet grace. Adasunba, one friend said, voice carrying, with all this success you could marry the chief's daughter, a proper beauty. Adasunba glanced at his wife, laughed too loud. Ah well, one step at a time. Another friend, emboldened by palm wine. Some men marry for strategy first, love later. Exactly, Adasunba's voice boomed. This one she came with the business, package deal. The men laughed. Fulak's hand trembled as she poured more palm wine, just slightly, just enough that a single drop fell to the mat. Nobody noticed. Later, alone at her father's shrine, she poured libation with steady hands. Baba, she whispered in Yoruba, you said test his character, I'm testing it. Her voice cracked. He's failing. Market day, high noon. Fulak hurried toward Adasunba's stall, urgent news about a supplier's betrayal burning on her tongue. He stood surrounded by friends, telling stories, basking in admiration. Adasunba, please, I must. He waved her off. Not now, can't you see I'm busy? This cannot wait. Something snapped, the need to prove dominance, to show these men who was in control. He stood, his voice carried across the marketplace. You see what I deal with. This woman thinks she runs my business. The marketplace went silent. But he was committed now, needed the laugh. I should rent her out to farmers, she could plow 3 fields at once. Gasps rippled through the crowd. He kicked the calabash from her hands. Crash. Palm oil spread like spilled blood. Fulak stood slowly, oil dripping from her wrapper. The marketplace held its breath. This was taboo, unforgivable. She walked toward him, leaned close to his ear. 30 days, she whispered, then you'll know what I'm worth. His smile flickered, just for a second, then returned. Threats from a woman who can't even carry a calabash. She walked away, spine straight, head high. In the corner, Baba Afalela stood, held up 30 fingers, started folding them down slowly. 1, 2, 3. Adasunba kept laughing. He had no idea his wealth had exactly 30 days left to live. Fulak returned to her father's compound. No tears, no drama, just quiet resolve. At the family shrine, she removed a small red cloth from a carved box. Inside, a wooden figure, the us her father had carved. She'd placed it in Adasunba's compound without his knowledge, protecting him from jealous eyes and spiritual attacks. Baba, she spoke to her father's spirit, I tried. I gave him your legacy, I protected him. I honored your wish to test him. She unwrapped the cloth. He failed. She buried the figure at the compound entrance, poured water, broke Kala nut, spoke the words of release. The protection was removed. Day 3, Adasunba's most reliable supplier didn't show. No message, no explanation. Day 4. A shipment he was certain about never arrived. Day 5. Market prices moved opposite to his predictions for the first time ever. He was confused but not worried, just a bad week. Day 8. The house merchant arrived with new terms. Triple the price or find another source. But our agreement. My agreement was with Alapod's daughter. The merchant's eyes were cold. You're nothing to me. Day 10. Fresh palm oil spoiled. Impossible but happening. Day 12. Fire consumed his warehouse. Northern textiles gone. An entire season's investment turned to ash. Day 15. His safe route was ambushed. 3 shipments lost to bandits who'd never been there before. Other traders whispered, his luck has turned. Panic clawed at his throat. He checked his notes obsessively. What changed? What did I miss? Day 20. Desperate and frightened. A D.E. acute su grave NB letter 1 ECD grave found Baba Ifalola at his divination corner. Baba, please, everything is falling apart. The old man cast his ifakaris, studied them for a long moment. What your wife whispered to you, do you remember? 30 days, but that was just. She said, "In 30 days you'll know what I'm worth." Baba's eyes held no pity. "Today is day 20. Sit down. It's time you learn the truth." Adisunbo sat. Every merchant who gave you favorable terms, loyal to Alapod, they extended that loyalty to Falik. They tolerated you because of her. The words hit like blows. Those instincts you had. Her network of informants fed her information. She gave it to you in notes you stopped reading. His breath came shallow. The routes you thought were safe. Her people cleared them ahead of you, paid off threats, made arrangements. Baba showed him an empty red cloth. "This held your spiritual protection. Your wife placed it without telling you. Every successful trader has enemies, jealous competitors, curses. This protected you. She removed it when she left." Adisunbo's voice was hollow. "So, everything. Everything you thought you built, she built. You were just the face she put on her father's empire." Baba's eyes were sad. "And now that face has been removed. But I made decisions. I chose." "You chose from options she carefully presented, like a child who picks between two sweets and thinks he's wise." The truth crushed him. "So I'm nothing." "No, you're exactly what you were before she found you. Nothing has changed except now you can see it clearly." Adisunbo had 10 days left, and the final lesson was still coming. Day 30, market day. Adisunbo arrived with his last goods, hands shaking, set up his stall. The marketplace felt different. People avoided eye contact. Then drums in the distance. A procession entered, dancers, singers, an entourage that commanded attention. A grand stall was being erected across the square. The banner unfurled, "Isle Isowo Alapod restored." Falik entered in magnificent Aso and Jeel, not as someone's wife, as Ialode, a titled merchant in her own right. Every supplier who'd abandoned Adisunbo was there, bowing to her. The roots, the connections, the respect, all returned to the rightful owner. She conducted business with authority that filled the space. Her body hadn't changed. She was exactly as she'd always been, but her power was undeniable now. Across the marketplace, Adisunbo stood at his empty stall. Their eyes met. She didn't smile, didn't gloat, just a slight nod, acknowledgement. Then she turned away to her business. Day 30, just as she'd promised. He understood now. She'd given him everything to show him he was nothing without it. Month 1. He sold his gold chains one by one at the same market where he'd mocked her. Each sale peeled away his identity. Month 2, evicted. He moved to a single room in the poor quarter. The same torn agbada every day. Started skipping meals. Month 3, first time begging. He covered his face with his hands, but someone recognized him. "Isn't that Alowo Atun?" Word spread like fire. Month 4, he stopped hiding, sat openly at the market entrance with a calabash bowl. His body was changing, stress killed appetite more than hunger, cheeks hollow, ribs visible, hair graying. The irony, the man who'd mocked his wife's body was now skeletal. Month 6, market children created a song about him. Thin man, skinny like a stick. Used to laugh at fat wife, now karma made him sick. They danced around him singing. He didn't react, he'd heard it before. Then he saw them, a young couple walking by. The wife was heavyset, carrying a market load. Her husband immediately took it. "My treasure, let me." She kissed his cheek. They laughed together. Adisunbo watched them disappear into the crowd, whispered to himself, "She tried to warn me. Even as I destroyed her, she was trying to save me." He closed his eyes. "I had treasure and called it weight." But karma had one final lesson, and it would come from the woman he'd destroyed. 8 months after day 30. Drums announced a merchant procession. Falik arrived with her entourage, radiant, powerful, successful. She processed past him, dropped coins in his bowl without looking, continued walking. 10 paces away, she stopped. The marketplace held its breath. She turned slowly, walked back, knelt to his level. Adesunbo, look at me. He could barely lift his head. Do you see my body? Look carefully, she gestured to herself. Has it changed? He shook his head. No, I'm exactly the same, but you. Her voice was steady, truthful. You chased beauty and became ugly. You chased wealth and became poor. You valued gold and became worthless. She stood, adjusted her jewel. I didn't curse you. I didn't need to. I simply removed my blessings and let you meet the real you. The you without my father's network. The you without my protection. The you without my wisdom. Her voice softened, but it wasn't kindness. It was truth. This is who you always were, Adesunbo. I just stopped hiding it for you. She turned to leave. He collapsed in the dust, sobbing. The sound that came from him wasn't human. It was the sound of a man truly broken. 3 days later, Baba Ifalola sat beside him in the dust. She sent me with an option. I told her it was too generous, but she insists. Adesunbo didn't respond. Full public apology, prostration before the entire marketplace. Then work as the lowest porter in her company, 3 years of service. At the end, if your character has truly changed, you may meet your son once. Just once. After that, the boy decides if he wants to know you. Silence. Then Adesunbo's voice broken. Why? Why would she offer me anything? She said, if I destroy him completely, I become what he was. I won't let him corrupt my character the way his character corrupted him. More silence. I don't deserve it. No, you don't. That's not the point. What is the point? The point is she's teaching you something you never learned. Mercy is not weakness. Giving a chance is not forgiveness. It's just humanity. Adesunbo nodded slowly. When? Tomorrow, market day. Same spot where you destroyed her. Next market day, word had spread. Huge crowd gathered. Adesunbo crawled to the center, to the exact spot where the calabash had fallen. Full prostration. Forehead to the dust where palm oil once spilled. I'm not here to ask for forgiveness. I don't deserve it. His voice carried across the silent marketplace. I'm here to speak truth, to say what I should have said every day. Folklore, daughter of Alapod, you saved my mother's life. You built my wealth with your father's legacy and let me believe I'd earned it. You protected me from enemies I never knew existed. You tried to warn me, even as I humiliated you. His voice broke. I had a diamond and complained it wasn't shiny enough. I had gold and demanded platinum. I had a queen and wanted a prettier servant. Tears fell to the dust. I can't ask to be your husband. That man doesn't exist anymore and he doesn't deserve to. I can't ask for wealth. I never earned it. I can't even ask to know my son. I haven't earned that right. I'm asking for one thing. Teach me to be human. Teach me what you tried to teach me when I was too blind to see. Teach me that character is the only beauty that never fades. I'll carry calabashes, the same ones I mocked you for carrying. I'll work in silence. I'll learn humility. And maybe, in 3 years, I'll be someone worthy of meeting the son I don't deserve. Long, heavy silence. Folklore poured libation from a calabash onto the ground, where the old one broke. Those who repent from the heart, we cannot close the door to them. You will never be my husband again. That door is closed forever. But my son deserves to know if his father can become a man of character. You have 3 years to prove it. Then 1 meeting. After that, he chooses. She turned to the crowd. Let this marketplace remember, I didn't break this man. I simply stopped holding him together. Karma doesn't punish, she reveals. If this story changed how you see karma and character, hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment. Was Folklore's mercy a gift or a mistake? Share this with someone who needs to hear it. 3 months later, market day morning. Adesunbo carried calabashes through the marketplace. The same type Folklore once carried. He was still thin, still marked, still coughed sometimes. But his eyes were different, clear, humble, aware. Children who once mocked him now saw something different. Some even greeted him respectfully. Folklare's stall across the way. She conducted business, commanded respect. For just a moment, their eyes met. She nodded once, not forgiveness, just acknowledgement. He nodded back, not entitlement, just gratitude. He returned to his work. Baba Ifalola sat at his divination corner, speaking to no one and everyone. Children of the marketplace, this is how karma truly teaches. She doesn't always destroy, sometimes she reveals. She held up a mirror and said, "This is who you are without me." And for the first time in his life, Adesunbo learned to look. He who rejects good character will reject him. But he who follows good character will lead him to the right path. Remember this, karma doesn't always take what you have. Sometimes she shows you what you threw away. And sometimes, only sometimes, she gives you a chance to become worthy of what you lost, not to get it back, but to become someone who would never lose it again. If this story moved you, subscribe and turn on notifications. Share it with someone who needs to understand that how you treat people is the only wealth that lasts forever. The next story is waiting.